I'm Asian.
I'm Asian.
I'm Asian.
I'm Asian.
I'm Asian.
I'm Asian.
And I'm Mexicano. My name is Adam Pardo. I'm fully Mexican. Both of my parents, they are from Mexico. During my childhood, I was raised with mostly Spanish. Then being close to the American border, I got to pick up English naturally. So after a little bit, all kids around me, a lot of them were growing up semi-bilingual. So then English was not as cool anymore. And that started opening my mindset to trying to learn more languages. And then I started with Japanese. At home, I live and breathe Japanese. My wife is Japanese. I definitely had to be careful to not sound like I memorized stuff. So I created flashcards and I was just quizzing myself, but I had to riff on each of the cards. So I practiced that, and then I was just, let it go. Relax and let my brain do everything else.
I'm Dustin. I'm a YouTuber and musician, and I'm American and I'm Vietnamese.
I'm Tejas. I am a student on leave of absence working on a startup called Poppin'. I'm Indian American. I grew up in India and I moved to America for high school.
I'm Justin. I'm 27 years old. I'm a second grade teacher, and I'm American, and my ethnicity is Filipino.
I'm Ronnie. I'm 18 years old. I work in sales management at a startup, and I currently own 2 companies, and I'm Korean American.
I'm George. I work in regulatory affairs and I'm also a content creator. I'm Indonesian American and I'm also 25 years old.
My name is Kenichi. You guys can call me Ken. I'm Japanese American and I work in the semiconductor industry.
Hello, my name is Edward. I'm 30, born in San Gabriel Valley. I'm Taiwanese American and I run a clothing brand.
I was gonna be suspicious of anybody who is Japanese, Chinese, or Korean because I feel like culturally it is very popular and language-wise very common and popular to learn.
What languages do you guys speak?
Okay, I'm Taiwanese American and I speak Mandarin.
I don't speak any other language, but I kind of understand a little bit of Tagalog, which is from the Philippines.
I speak a little bit of Vietnamese. I can understand it mostly. It's mostly like a Viet-English mix, like my parents would speak Vietnamese, mostly like commands and stuff.
I'm like 80% fluent in Korean.
Indonesian was my first language, and after I moved here, I don't speak it that well, but it's kind of like a broken Indonesian.
I speak like very little of many South Indian languages like Malayalam, Tamil, and Kannada, and a bit of Hindi. So I can be like very basic in conversation, but I can understand all of them.
I speak Japanese. My parents forced me to speak Japanese at home. My biggest challenge here was not convincing them that I could speak Japanese. My personality is very loud, very friendly. I like to connect with people. So I had to build a character that had a congruent background and that was believable.
Should we start with like something like really niche in our ethnicities, maybe?
No, let's be a little broad for the first
Broad?
round. Yeah, let's
Gotcha.
be a little broad.
Who asked for it to be broad?
Ronnie, the Korean guy.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about food?
It's good.
Well, I mean, like
I feel like it wouldn't help that much because anyone can talk about food.
you guys know like the typical street Filipino food. I'm from Florida, and like there's not a whole lot of Filipinos there, so I felt like if I really went into it and talked about the different kinds of foods that they have, that could really like show my Asianness, I guess.
I think I was about to throw like the niche food out there because Japan has a lot of niche food, like very stinky beans, natto. But if I throw it in there, I would look too try hard.
Can we go down the line and everyone say if they were born in America or they were born elsewhere? Maybe that.
I was born in America.
I was born in America.
Born in America.
Born in America.
Indonesia.
Okay, and
Wait, who said Indonesia?
Me.
I think you said Indonesian, no?
Indonesian. Well, so when I first came here, I noticed that everyone called it Indonesian, but I used to call it Indonesian. I just assimilated, so like that's why.
Do you like martabak?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
What's the recipe?
Well, martabak, like are you talking about like martabak manis, martabak telur, like?
He knows.
Oh, no, he got it.
Not many people know about being Indonesian, despite it being like the 4th most populous country in the world.
I have a question for Ronnie.
Yeah, what's up?
So you said You're born in America?
Yeah.
Where were you born and where'd you grow up?
I've always been around like the OC area.
What part of Korea are your parents from?
South? Not north, definitely not.
When someone asked him what part of Korea is from, he said he's obviously not from north, which I feel like is such a used joke. I feel like that a Korean person wouldn't say that, so I was a little sus of him.
What city in the?
That I don't know. I think my dad is from. Oh no, I went to Korea last summer and we visited his parents. It's like near the mountains. I don't know the exact city name because I've only been to Korea once and that was my first time. My mom is from the same area as well.
Even if like you're not close with your parents, I feel like you should still know where they're from.
Nah, I sound like a horrible son now. I sound like a horrible son. But nah, I just didn't know. It's not that deep. I just didn't know.
Can we say like our parents' names and like last names?
Wait, I don't know dox them, but
Okay.
Or how about we go down the line and we say our last name?
Oh, our last name? Okay, my name is Dustin Vung.
Teja Srivalsan.
Justin SB. Oh my God, that sounds so white.
SB.
I'm sorry. No. Hear me out. Hear me out.
not
Is no. SB is it's. There's a whole conspiracy theory that my last name was shortened. So in the Philippines, it's very Spanish, and it was probably shortened from like Esperanza and Espejo. Like my dad's name is Joselito. Like my family is like very like Spanish influenced. I think that. Since their cultures are a little bit different than mine, maybe they just didn't believe it as much. So who knows?
I have a lot of Filipino friends, so when I heard him like talk a little bit about Filipino last names, I think I felt like I was kind of in his shoes in a way because as a person who could be mistyped as like someone who's like Latinx, for example, because they have similar last names, I was just only imagining what was going on in his head, like of him trying to overcompensate.
Do you guys think you guys can tell an Asian American accent?
I think I can.
Like just based off of how some of you guys are speaking, I feel like I could tell you're Asian American.
Yeah, there's a cadence
Yeah.
for sure. I've seen videos recently actually about it. It's like very like we pronounce things very like we enunciate a lot.
Yeah, you sound very Asian.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Dustin's locked.
I heard a thing that like we talk like very flamboyant in a way, but like in a kind of Valley Girl adjacent.
Justin, I wasn't for sure about, but I had a feeling it could have been him.
Honestly, his name was Edward. I was kind of just like voting anyone at all who like created suspicion.
I mean, I feel like the biggest part of my elimination was my name. My name is Justin Kyle SB, and most people would think, first of all, Justin Kyle, very white passing. I thought that in my head, the strategy would have been just like play it honest, and they might think it's like, well, he's probably Asian, just not as Asian as others, But I guess they didn't think that way.
Did everyone grow up in Southern California?
No.
No.
I did.
Yeah,
Ronnie did, yes.
I grew up in Northern California.
Southern California.
Southern California.
For 12 years, I was in India, in Bangalore, and then I moved to the Bay Area.
Oh, where in Bay?
San Ramon, California.
Oh, I don't know.
Why that noise?
Sorry. So it's like
Not
much. No, they're like, you guys are best friends now.
Well, I only know San Jose because all my family's from there, but.
Yeah, I'm actually living in San Jose right now,
You do?
Yeah. Wait, what brings you to LA then?
though. For the show?
Wow.
Damn.
Hey,
That's like mole level.
Hey, that's
You know what I mean?
mole level right
I don't know if I come all the way if I wasn't.
What
the
if he's
mole.
just like really rich guys?
Fair
Wait,
enough.
I'm not that rich, but my family's pretty well off.
I think that's an insane level of commitment. I think Jubilee's great, but if you're coming just to be yourself, I think that's like a little extra.
He flew here. Why would you do that? Like, that's crazy.
I got a question about dating. Your parents like specifically tell you don't avoid this particular, race if possible. It's a little bit.
Well, this is a testy one.
Yeah.
Well, I think racism is very rampant in Asian culture. Obviously, there's colorism within our own like ethnicities and stuff. At least for Vietnamese people, like if you are pale, you are more beautiful. And I mean that's in Korean culture too. Like look at the K-pop industry. Anyone tan cannot be an idol. I always do not feel attractive compared to like my peers. And whenever I talk about romance or love life, dating with anyone who's white specifically, I just kind of now locked in, like I can't emotionally really connect with them at all because I always say like we live such different lives where I'm like, so whenever I'm talking to like one of my white friends, I'm like, well, it's different for you. It's always gonna be easy for you. That affects my confidence because with like the music stuff, with the work stuff, talent can shine through no matter what. But with dating, physicalities is a lot of it, so.
Honestly, my parents are very like progressive and didn't really care too much about what race of people I dated. I think deep down they'd prefer that I end up with someone Indian long term just because like family values and what align. But they're honestly been pretty chill.
So me in particular, they would definitely say just try to stick to Japanese if you can, right? I think because of the war, you know, in the past, they got a little bit of resentment towards certain countries. I'm not gonna mention it, right?
We know.
Yeah. I met my wife when I was a student over there in Japan. So I think what worked in my advantage is that they had no nuances of what Mexico was. We have never been in a fight with Japan. Japan and Mexican relationships are pretty good. I had to win them over later, you know, by following their traditions, taking care of their daughter, and just building a relationship with them. I've been building it over for 15 years, and we're really comfortable with each other right now.
I think for me, my parents, they never said like, don't date this race. It was always just, please just date a Korean girl. And I mean,
for me as well.
I didn't really
basically.
mind because like my preference is Koreans as well. So I mean, yeah, it just makes it easier in the long run, like culturally too.
Is your family religious?
Yeah, my dad's actually a pastor. He works in the church.
You're Korean,
That's pretty
right?
Korean.
Yeah, that's so Korean. Come
That's
on,
pretty
OC Korean
yeah.
classic right there.
I think when he said that, we were like, okay, you're definitely Asian.
I thought I sounded the most Asian. I'm like kind of whitewashed Asian. I was still like, I'm more Asian than you guys, so why are you guys coming at me?
Wait, Dejas, I have a question. So, you said you were in India for 12 years.
Correct.
Did you go to like a certain type of school? Did
Yeah.
you go to national school? Did you go to?
I went to an international school, yeah. So I was born in the Bay Area, and 3 months after I was born, you know, my parents scooped that passport, dipped. We went to Bangalore, so I could be raised with like Indian values and close to grandparents, family, and whatnot. And then I moved back for right before high school.
Your accent sounds very hip.
Mine?
Yeah.
I can also speak in an Indian accent, if that would help.
Can you speak the language? Or,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Did you say you speak Gujarat?
Can you say like a sentence real quick?
In which language?
Whoa.
Well, I don't know if the language will actually
Yeah,
help
I
that
don't
much
know.
because like
Oh,
most of it
hey,
have
it's
grown
because
up.
he doesn't want to speak it.
Well, I could speak Chinese.
Sorry,
Wait,
who said that?
wait.
Edward.
Edward, can you rip some Chinese for us?
Rip some Chinese.
Yeah, 我的名字是吴爱华，我在南加州长大的 so that means I grew up in Southern California, and my name is Edward. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Sounded a little bit. Okay, so ケンイチと申します。基本アメリカ生まれ育ちなんだけれども、両親とも2人日本人です。So I just said that my name is Ken, and my parents are Japanese, and I was born in the San Diego area.
He was just too fluent.
He was like the most Asian sounding person, so like inherently I was thinking that that might be like kind of like a throw off because you'd automatically assume that someone who sounds like that is from Asia in general.
Halo, ini Ujo. Sekarang aku lagi ngomong tentang bahasa Indonesia. Sebenarnya aku nggak ngomong bahasa Inggris terlalu. Well, as you can tell, I'm not like super fluent, so like I'm already messing up on my words.
안녕하십니까 여러분. 저 이름은 런입니다. 저는 항상 여기 동네에서 살았어요. And I basically just said, hello everyone. My name is Ronnie, and I've always been in this area.
Just to protect myself, I'm gonna go with 2 languages. First is Malayalam. Nyan Malayalayana, enike korcha Malayalam Ariyam. That means I'm a Malayali, and I know a little bit of Malayalam. And Tamil is Tamil Teriyama, Yenama Epri Pesenglama. That means, do you know Tamil? How do you speak like that?
Do you speak Hindi as well?
Thoda samajh mein aata hai.
You sound tall. How tall are you?
I'm 6'1.5".
Wow.
So my Vietnamese is pretty bad, but I'm gonna say my Vietnamese is bad. Tiếng Việt của tôi, come tốt, which is my Vietnamese is bad. I can also count to however long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but yeah.
Sounds like a song.
Wait,
Sounds
Edward,
like-
Yeah, what's up?
do you have a Chinese name?
Yeah, 吴爱华.
Does everyone have an Asian name?
Yes.
I don't. But my middle name is Kang, if that helps. I don't know. My sister's name is Destiny Tui Ting Boong.
Hey, so if you got siblings, say their ethnic names too.
My sister, her name is Wu Tanghua.
My sister's name is Yamada Chika.
My brother's name is Gerald, but we call him Raul.
Yeah, I have 4 siblings. My older brother's name is Chung Semin, older sister Chung Sering, younger brother Chung Soyo, younger sister Chung Yuzu.
I just have an older sister, and her name is Trisha.
You have like an ethnic name, but your sister doesn't. So I guess that just like made me turn my decision from you could possibly be the person who's not Asian.
My sister's name, Vietnamese name is Thuy Tien, but I have 2 other brothers, but we're also all just like, they have the same name for me, except their names Daniel and Derek.
When we brought up the question about the sister, his sister, I think he said was Trish or something. It was a very common American name.
In terms of the consensus of like the most suspicious things said, like I think he said frequently things that I found questionable, and I also thought where other people would vote. So I try to factor that into my discussion to protect myself. I just could sense it was coming. I think it was probably to do with when I said my sister's name is Trisha, and I think that's like a pretty like normal name. I think there's people of every ethnicity and background with that name. It is also an Indian name, and they were all saying like far more like ethnic sounding names. And I said it pretty nonchalantly because I thought it was like kind of obvious after I spoke 2 languages that I would not be the mole. But yeah, that didn't really work.
Hey, put that back on.
Sorry, I was just checking our compatibility on the Nectar app. It says we're 94% compatible?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I want to see. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh. Now you get to decide whether or not you want to continue the game. If everyone feels confident that you have already caught the mole, then you can end the game now. But if the majority has doubt, the game will continue. Please raise your hand if you want to continue playing the game. Majority rules, the game is over.
What? Are y'all serious? I feel like we could have got a few more rounds in there. Damn, that's early. Have y'all watched this series? Like 2 people out and we want to risk it. There's like 5 people in the box still. I was a bit annoyed, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm going to turn the lights red or green. If they are green, that means you have voted out the mole and you win. If the lights turn red, that means the mole is still in the box and you lose. 3, 2, 1. The light is red.
Damn.
You have lost.
So crazy, guys.
Oh my!
We will now reveal the moles. 3, 2, 1. Take off your blindfold.
Very nice.
I was really happy that at first nobody gave me a single vote. I think in the second round either, nobody voted for me. To be honest, my biggest concern was not my Japanese, it was my English.
Ken's accent was going from like a Japanese accent to regular, and then he went back to a Japanese accent. And that's when I started catching on.
The people that we did vote off, I thought they were more of a mole than him.
Wait, so what is your ethnicity?
I'm actually fully Mexican, born and raised in Tijuana, Mexico. So I learned Japanese by myself.
For fun or like what's fun?
At first it was for fun, but then it got like serious. I went to study in Japan. I work for a global Japanese company right now. My wife is from Kyoto, from Japan. I think Japanese culture really complements my personality and my ethnicity. We Mexicans, we like to party, we're really loud. I think that when I go to Japan, I get to meet this other side of myself. I'm more polite, I'm more respectful. I really am fascinated by just how opposite they are, but at the same time, how so many commonalities as human beings we have.
You sound like you're from Orange County.
Oh no, everyone tells me I have the OC accent.
I thought I'd do really well in being able to see any like Southern California.
Yeah,
Asian.
yeah.
But I will say like I think with you it was a little hard because you're international.
I
so
believed you.
No, it was just so unbelievable that you can know that many languages.
Had we gone forward with the game, I was gonna talk about like a Kevin Nguyen stereotype. It seems like most people should be aware if you're Asian at least. Basically, the Kevin Nguyen stereotype is this archetype of an Asian. They're known to be Vietnamese. They have a specific look to them. Essentially, they're just like a boy. They dress in a certain way where it's typically like all black, tattoos. It's just so infamous that everyone kind of knows. It, I thought, would have been a really good indication if you were Asian or not.
Like, I don't think there's like one single thing that unites us all. I mean, we all share like a lot of the similar characteristics, but I don't think that there's like one uniting factor that immediately screams Asian.
Now I can release my Mexicanness. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I want to bring my giant Mexican hat, you know, but I want to do this. I always wanted to try to do this. Viva Mexico! Viva Mexico! はい、ありがとうございました。